I'm Edie Lush, here in Davos, where food waste, and food security were major issues. Hub Culture partnered with the Rockefeller Foundation to produce delicious food from ugly vegetables and food waste. Elsewhere, the Rockefeller Foundation is working to reduce food waste at the source of food production.
I went to visit a mango farm, talked to a farmer, and he taught me very simple things. For example, when they take a mango off a tree, there's a certain way to twist it and wipe off the sap. Otherwise, the sap spoils the skin, it doesn't look very good, and supermarkets don't want to sell it anymore. They also have these solar-powered coolers so that the mangoes can stay good for about 2 weeks rather than just a couple of days. That allows them to pick their selling time and allows the food to stay fresher, for example. These can reduce loss by 90%.
Everyone has a role to play in reducing food waste, not just our chefs here at Hub Culture. Here's what our friends at Gastromotiva did at the Olympics in Rio.
And a company that actually agreed to bring us the surplus elements from the Olympic Village and different caterings to our food waste restaurant in Lapa. And so what we did is transform all these different items that were still good for consumption, that have not been touched, but maybe a little ugly or a bit soft. And we turned them into beautiful dishes, serving people in need at night.
I spoke with Divine Chocolate about the work they're doing in transforming farmers' lives in addition to producing awesome chocolate.
We pay a guaranteed minimum price and premium for the cocoa, so that means they get extra money that they decide how they spend, and we invest 2% of our turnover in working with the farmers on projects that they agree with us, and then they also get 44% of the profit because they own 44% of the company.
And while climate change wasn't at the top of the agenda this year in Davos, Andrea Illy reminded me that it still affects farmers' livelihoods and, of course, our coffee.
Well, it's erratic, because the effects of climate change are not the same every year. But the two main damages are either by, the main one is water security, which can impact coffee, either through droughts, not enough water, or excessive rain, which in this case favors the proliferation of some diseases.
And as in every other topic here in Davos, food is being touched by technology. Ginkgo Bioworks is bringing biotechnology to flavors and fragrances.
Yeah, so what we do is, so imagine today rose oil that goes into a perfume. You get that by basically picking rose petals, pressing them, and getting the oil out. What we do is we sequence the genome of that rose. So every organism has a code of A's and T's and C's and G's DNA that encodes what it does. We read that code, we find the genes for making the fragrance. We move those into brewer's yeast like you'd use to make beer. Except when we brew it up, instead of beer coming out, rose oil comes out. 50% cost of goods reduction, big improvement in the supply chain. And so we do that for customers like ADM and Cargill, big food companies, flavor and fragrance companies, things like that.
Am I making you hungry? I'm Edie Lush here in Davos.